Well, what's going on, everybody? It's been a minute since I've done a video, and I just got the itch that I needed to do one. Needed to, update y'all guys on some stuff, provide something more educational so that you can learn something. So let's see if I can do both of those in this video here. Very impromptu, like a lot of my videos. So we're gonna sit here and talk about a couple things for a minute, and hopefully you'll come out of here slightly entertained and learning something new. So. One thing I wanted to talk about business-wise is like rush jobs. So rush jobs is something that I've been leveraging and making, not necessarily leveraging, that I've been doing and completing. So 3D printing, obviously, as many of you know, is known for rapid prototyping. Rapid prototyping meaning that, you can come up with an idea, CAD model it out in a couple of days, couple of weeks, and then have it printed hopefully in a few days. So this is very common in the 3D printing industry. This is what drives a lot of companies to make good money, because certain companies do need things in 1 to 3 days. So as you start growing and you start getting larger business and bigger businesses coming to you, you're going to find people that will come to you and say, hey, do you have a printer that can do this? Do you have a printer this size? Okay, I need this in 2 to 3 days. Now, for instance, with my company, we have a lot of machines in-house, but sometimes if a rush job comes in and I need to use someone else's machine, that's where I will outsource it. So you'll want to have proper connections for outsourcing, because your client is going to want to get the parts from you. They don't care if it has to come from China or if it comes from Texas. Sometimes they will care if it comes from outside of the U.S., so keep that in mind. Maybe even ask. But do not feel afraid of turning down a job just because you don't have the machine to do it. There is someone out there that does have the machine, and if that job, you can buy it from XYZ company, my company, someone else for $1,000, you charge the client $1,500, you make $500 for someone else doing the work. The risk will come in that you hold the responsibility when other said company doesn't deliver. So if I order a part from another company and I get told it's going to be delivered on Saturday, and then it gets delivered on Monday or Tuesday, my client might be chewing my ear out because I told him Saturday, because I was told Saturday, and now it's Tuesday. And supply lines and shipping are a big part of that, so that's what you have to account into it. But for instance, I can talk about this certain project for a certain company that delivers pies with pepperoni on them. Essentially I'm doing a prototype job for them that is somewhere in between $5,000 and $20,000 in prototyping, that is holding up probably $1 million and a half in a injection molding contract. So my client is very excited and energetic about getting this large contract with his company so that he can injection mold all these people, and is very much on top of making sure that I am doing everything I can to get these prints made. So much so that he has called many other 3D print companies. Some of the companies I called have been like, yeah, I already got that call from that guy. Some of those companies called me to see if I could get it done in that amount of time. And that's kind of like, the world will start getting smaller when you need stuff turned around faster and faster. Now, anything on these little King runes, anything that comes on that King rune is going to print in 24 hours to 2 days. Mostly what I'm talking about here is prints that are north of 2 feet. So if you're doing a 400 mil, 500, 600 mil or larger print, and you need it done and you don't have that printer, the amount of people in the US with a 1 meter printer, with a 1,000 millimeter printer, is going to start going down and down very fast. I personally know of like 6. There might be 10 to 20, but 5 to 10 of those might be very hard to find or just not publicly available. So you'll have to choose your sources carefully. But that said, let's say, so off of my machine, just to kind of give some numbers of this, and this is again a video for other businesses and less for customers and clients, but if you have a part that I'm quoting on these large format printers, I'm pricing by time, and I still hold that with the printers, if not even a higher price on the large format printers, because there's more of a tendency for those to fail. And and I'm going to go through some experiences here. So I'll tell you what I did first. So I quoted the client. I think the first one, based off of another quote I got, we did for like, I don't remember, but it was somewhere close to $2,000. The next ones, I worked them down to like $1,200, and this is on a part that's less than $100 in plastic. So the profit is quite high, but the risk and having the client be unhappy is what is important there, and what is what $1,000 worth of time is spent babysitting that printer, so that if anything comes up during the print, hopefully you can address it before it fails it. So that's definitely what I'm going to have to do with this specific job. Now, as this job has come through and I did this job, and it turns out they now have 2 or 3 other models they need done, and all this is still holding up this bigger order. He's like, hey, why can't I just get these going again? It's like, well, my production manager is actually going on vacation, so you might be going on vacation. Yeah, anything else like that, the timing might not be right. So I called around other companies to do this job for me. So I did, what I do as far as outsourcing goes, and found new connections, got new connections that'll most likely lead to more business, because every time I go out and make a new connection with another company, they generally have a machine that I don't have, and I have a machine that they don't have, or I have a process like the metal plating or something that they don't have. So we end up being able to have a lot of cross compatibility or work that we can share back and forth. And this is part of the reason why I'm not marketing too much, because literally anybody I talk to, I can almost easily pitch a 3D print to them, or how they can use 3D printing to better their company or whatever. So always keep that in mind. And this is, so much so that I'm in Guitar Center the other day, and I talked to a random person, and I hear he's wanting to get a certain line of speakers, so I start talking to him about speaker stuff, and speakers my side gig, and pro audio, and the pro audio side of it, so I'm talking to him about that, but I still end up plugging the 3D printing, that hey, I run a 3D printing company, these are the type of things I can make related to pro audio, if you need any of these type of services, call me. So always be on the lookout for that as a small side tangent there. But otherwise, I just wanted to get my point across that rush prints can be highly profitable. I mean, you want to make $1,000 in a week, rush prints are the way to do it. In order to get some of those jobs, you've got to have machines that other people don't have, or at least access to them, as well as good people skills to communicate with the clients, keep them happy, to the point of delivering the part. Because that seems to be a part of this too, is just being able to keep the clients understanding of what's going on, even if you have a 2 or 3 shipping delay, even if the print stops and fails halfway through, and now what was a 6-day delivery time is now a 9-day delivery time. The ability to communicate that appropriately is a big part of this as well. So people skills and just really being on top of your clients and where they are in the project is important. And that's one thing that I've probably got so many clients now that I still struggle with that, even though I'm doing different things to further improve my production, my flow of how I'm handling traffic. And I mean, even here now, we are staring at my reorganized space that is much, much cleaner than it was before. But if I were to ask you if this is clean, I don't think too many of you would say, yeah, it looks great. So feel free to roast me in the comments about how I managed to reorganize my shop, and it still looks like a pigsty days later. I am working on it though. I swear all this will be picked up by Saturday, and I'm going to keep it that way. I do still have a couple of boxes of stuff that I just kind of like raked off a table and put it in here, and now I need to kind of reorganize this and put half of it in that tote, and the other half in that tote, and that, stuff like that. So, what else? Yeah, I just want to kind of talk about that briefly. I'm definitely going to come back and do some more videos here soon. I need to get back in the habit of doing 1 to 2 a day. I just kind of let things get a hold of me a little bit with my side gig on the pro audio. I've actually got it to a point to where we're weekly renting out to one venue, to one organizer, and we'll potentially be growing that further. So there's some good progress on that side of things. The print side of things, I've got a lot of really neat things kind of like in the works. So I can't release too much at the moment on a couple of deals, but hopefully we'll be in the process of doing some automotive prints that'll be really fun and cool to share, and something that a lot of people will be excited about. As well as, if that goes well, that'll start an even larger project, about an 8 times larger project that we can then start doing some really cool, impressive things with. But man, I will show you this one though. The face hugger. Look at this guy. So the same client that's come by and dropped off many other prints for me to resell or have fun with, dropped this off today. This was printed off of a KP3S. Like, this is just This is huge. I mean, huge for a KB3S to assemble and put together to this and make it all, movable and whatnot. This is just too cool. So I'm gonna make this a part of my my Halloween decoration for this weekend. This weekend we are throwing my first party in this space. So we're going to be using our sound system here. We'll have a bigger sound system in back, and we'll be having a cool party here. And then after that, I'll be looking for more venues to do larger parties in. And it's cool because where Sound Affinity is going to be, the subwoofer manufacturer, and then I started Sound Affinity Sound Labs to throw events. I'm still going to be able to use 3D printing to create unique little giveaways, unique little props. I'll be able to keep a lot of my parties fresh by having really cool, unique props that we're going to bring out and have a part of the party. So we've already thought about a lot of stuff there. Trying to think of what else. I've got all these headlights to do, man. Look at all these headlights. I got to take every single bracket there and chop those off. Well, not chop them off, but scan them and then design them in such a way that you could chop them off, grind them smooth, and then put a new one in place. Because a lot of these brackets break on these headlights. You can then buy a broken, headlight for really cheap. You fix it, repair it. You can now sell it for several $100s a piece. So I'm sure, I have no idea what these are bought for, but I'm sure they're bought for under 100 and sold for over 2 to 3, excuse me. So that's kind of cool. All of these guys, if you're curious, I'll do a video of me just taking these out. I think it'll be fun. But me just popping these out and into a box. I'm gonna save it up and do like a good 2 or 3 minutes of me just pop, a nice like ASMR type of, cool support removal. There, Bill, you wanna say hi to the YouTubers? This is Bill. This is the owner of Sound Affinity. So I've been working with him on the subwoofers for about a year now. So he's the brainchild and design behind everything that makes those guys awesome. So, but yeah, guys, I will think of more things to be making videos about, more educational videos. I did see that the King Moon has a KP7 now, and the KP7 should be a pretty cool printer. This is something I did the other day. This laser engraved. I think this is maple. I have no idea what wood this is, but it came out super red. It's just really beautiful wood. I need to sand all the tape off of it and whatnot, and then kind of polish this down a little bit more. But yeah, we'll be doing some more videos, and I will keep this educational train going. And yeah, we're not sunk yet. So where I had some doom and gloom videos, I appreciate the help and support and kind words from everyone. I'm keeping that momentum moving forward, and hopefully we still got some good things coming out. I do think I'm going to wind up selling my pickup, unfortunately. The car market is just really high. If I can get, a really high price for it, it would be worth it. It is my granddad's pickup, and, he's passed away, and I do have some sentimental to it, but my granddad also wasn't the greatest person in the world, so I'm not like super tied to him just because he was family. I actually like the pickup more than I like the sentimental fact that it was my granddad's. But at the same time, like, I just dropped $2,000 fixing it, and I still have like $7,000 to go to fix the other 2 things I need, and probably another $2,000 to $3,000 to fix a few other things. So it's like, do I drop another $10,000 on this pickup, or do I sell it right now for hopefully $20,000? So we'll see what happens with that. But I do hope that deal could potentially go through, as it would help me out in this situation now. We'd be able to do some more cool stuff. But only other thing that's really cool, and I will let this go, is these chromatic masks are just super cool. So this is all the same filament. I didn't change the filament at all, and it's 3 colors at the same exact time. So depending on where you position your print depends on the colors that you're gonna wind up getting. So it is just super neat on like how these come out. But so yeah, so I printed, one like this, the next one like this, the next one, like this, so we can see, just how cool that is coming out. So yeah, that's gonna look awesome. But anyways, guys, have a good day. Thanks for staying to the end. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we will have a new video coming out shortly. I know there's been a couple video requests. I'm going to go back through those. I did say that those would be my next video, so sorry that this one's not that. But I do have plans to go back in there and make those videos. So it's just been very busy with the past so many days. I haven't been able to go home and have all of my emails responded to. And that's kind of like one of the base goals that I'm trying to get to, is like, if I can just respond to every customer before I walk out the door, then like at least the day's work is done. And that's not happening. And it's, you know, it's partially that I need to spend more time. Rather than spending 15 minutes doing a YouTube video, I could be doing my emails. But otherwise, we are we are making good work on getting there. It just goes to show too that we're busy and we got a lot of projects we're doing. And I do wean out some of my smaller projects now. But I appreciate all the support, guys. All 3,089 of you, and anyone else that you haven't subscribed. It totally does help the channel and boost the channel, and all that stuff. So I appreciate it, guys, and we will talk to you on the next video. Have a good day.